Hi everybody, I'm Bill Sanders and this is Watch Art Sci, the art and science of watch collection. Today what I want to talk about is a watch with a particular movement that I've had this obsession about for ever since I started collecting watches. The watch is a Patek Philippe Gondolo 5124. And there are a number of different versions of this. And the one that I first was hooked on was the modern version. Then I saw this version, which was more of sort of a madman art deco. I just love this watch. They all have, I think they're all of them, I'm not sure, but I think they're all white gold. Uh, Now, the thing that I like about it, beside the looks of the watch, is that it has a shape movement to it. The predecessor to the 5124 and the 2521 were also some rectangular shaped watches about the same size in gold and probably white gold too. Um, and it was a caliber 215 PS, but it was a round movement in a rectangular watch. And there's something about that I just thought, well, they should go with the shape of the watch. And I mean, it's not, as far as innovation's concerned, 28,800 semi-oscillations per hour, which isn't, which is pretty common. Hand wound, which is nice, and it only has hours and minutes, and of course also seconds. So why didn't I ever get this watch? Well, I don't know. It's one of those things. It's sort of an obsession that I really liked it, but there were things about it that I wanted to have with it. And even when I had those things, for some reason I didn't get it. I'd get something else like this. This is a Chanel Monsieur, which is another watch I always wanted, and it just, a bunch of things came together, and suddenly I could afford it, and I could afford this one too at the same time. But I thought, nah, I gotta have this one, and I'm not even sure why. And I've always just liked this watch. I always look at it, I always look it up, but I don't get it. Here's a picture of the movement. Now, one of the things that I grumble about a lot is the fact that Patek Philippe, I think it was in 2008, 2009, they switched from the Geneva Seal to the Patek Philippe Seal. Well, having your own seal on a watch, this is sort of like the Good Housekeeping Seal or some other seal saying this was approved by somebody other than yourself. I don't know. It always sort of struck me as a little, not only pretentious, but almost sort of giving yourself a medal. I never understood that. I think they would have been better off if they didn't get along with a Geneva Seal. Either find some other one external that'll give a seal. But anyhow, I always, the Patek Philippe I wanted is the 5124, but with the Geneva Seal, and you can still find them. And something sort of funny happened. Two things, really. One, in I think it was 2008 or 2009, they switched from the Geneva Seal to the Patek Philippe Seal, and then a few years later, they got rid of all gondolas. They decided the line just wasn't as popular as they wanted. But in looking at that movement, I absolutely love this movement with the big, long, narrow bridge, and then the finger bridges coming up from the bottom, and then the balance cock coming down, and it's just a gorgeous movement. I love it. There's another movement that of course, they got rid of it because I liked it, and it's a shape movement, and it was the one in the Rolex Cellini Prince. Great movement. Of course, they got rid of it. It was one. It was hand wound and everything I like in it. Now, one of the other things, there's another watch that, because it had this movement in it, I like it too. But it's very different. It's the 5098 Gondolo, and it has the 2521 movement, same movement. This one comes in both platinum and rose gold, I believe. I don't know if they have one in white gold. They have it in platinum, but it's exactly the same movement. Doesn't look a thing like the one that I first liked. But then I saw this, I thought, boy, this is an unusual watch. I mean, it's talk about a dandy, but this is just something about this watch that I like, and then with the movement that I like too. And again, this one is split between some have the older one have the Geneva Seal, the newer ones have the Patek Philippe Seal. Again, I like the older ones with the Geneva Seal, and then of course they got rid of all of them. Anyway, that's my story. I don't know if you have any stories like that and why I haven't got one. I don't know if I ever will, but I've always liked them. And I always find something I would rather have at the moment. But that's being a watch collector. You got a similar story, or does that make any sense to you at all as a watch collector? Let me know. I'd like to hear from you. It's an opportunity to subscribe if you like. Until next time, this is Bill Sanders with Watch Art Sci, the art and science of watch collection.